Hello, welcome to another edition of Crop Life Retail Week. I'm Eric Sfiligoj, editor, Crop Life. Here again with Lara Sowinski. Lara, how you doing today?
Pretty good. Thank you. Back from a whirlwind of a trip to North Carolina. So
Okay, well, we'll get to that in a moment. But yes, actually, you and I were a little bit road warrioring this week as we were recording this video. I know for myself, I actually made a trek up to St. John's, Michigan, to visit with the folks at AgroLiquid Fertilizer, and I was there for a very special cause. Of course, in journalism, they always talk about firsts, lasts, and onlys are very, very newsworthy, and this was a first. AgroLiquid was the first company to have its biostimulant called CTEC to be certified through the new Fertilizer Institute biostimulant certification program. So I was up there with the folks, and they were celebrating that. And Corey Rosenbusch, the president CEO of TFI, was on hand, and this is what he had to say about CTEC earning the certification on behalf of TFI.
AgroLiquid is the very first biostimulant certification that we are awarding in the history of the certification. We started on this journey at probably, 10 years ago. It's been a long time. Ed's been working on it. But I remember very fondly when I arrived at TFI and had a chance to go out and visit some ag retailers. It was a co-op, actually, in central Iowa. And the leadership there was doing a bit of a presentation to kind of help me understand ag retail and how they sell to growers. And in the process, the leader was talking about what he believed were the transformational moments in agriculture. And in his opinion, mechanization was kind of the first step. Biotechnology, some of the GMO technology that we had that allow us to have abundant crops was the second kind of evolution. And then he said, I believe that the third biggest evolution that will happen that's coming in agriculture will be biologicals and some of the new fertilizer crop nutrient technologies, the enhanced efficiency products that we have to offer. And he believed that was going to be that next transformation for the industry. He said, the problem is we don't understand it. We don't know what it is. Our agronomists have hundreds of products coming across their desk every day, and we don't have the bandwidth or the resources to evaluate them. And our growers think they're all, forgive me for using the word, snake oil. If there's one thing an ag retailer needs right now, is some sort of a standard that we can help our agronomists evaluate these products. Now, don't get it wrong. Don't get us wrong. We still are going to test them. We're still going to have to do our field trials with our growers. But boy, it would be helpful if we had that as a tool. So the Biostimulant Council that had been brought under TFI 4 years ago at that point started to look at the standard that was developed that really defined biostimulants by efficacy testing methods, composition, and safety. And those three items really became the standard that we've used to translate into the certification program that we're here to give and honor and recognize AgroLiquid with today. And I believe that ag co-op is exactly right. That will be the tool that they and growers and agronomists all across the country will be able to use to identify the products that meet that rigor, that meet that baseline standard so that they can make those recommendations to those growers.
So that's what TFI's Corey Rosenbusch had to say regarding AgroLiquid attaining this certification for CTEC biostimulant. Again, on behalf of Crop Life and everyone here, our congratulations to you folks for being the first biostimulant certified under this new program from TFI. So that was my little trek for the week. But I guess I had basically 8-hour drive to and from my home base, but I guess your journeys were a little longer. So if you could let me know, let the viewers know about what you've been doing in the great state of North Carolina this past week.
Well, I had such a extensive trip. I don't even I couldn't even recount everything we did. It's going to take me a couple days to kind of go over the notes and
Just the high points. Just the high points.
the high points. Okay. Well, grab a cup of coffee. So, my colleague, our colleague, Rick Welder and I, we were in North Carolina Research Triangle Park area this week, meeting with, gosh, a lot of folks, big and small, big players, smaller players, pretty much in the biostimulants, biopesticides, enzymes, peptides space, and really, what a learning experience first off, and a lot of highlights that I'll be able to share in the coming weeks. Is, like I said, go over the notes, and part of this trip, Eric, as you know, is our crop protection series that we're looking at Crop Life magazine throughout the year. So a lot of the content will be upcoming later this year in Crop Life. But in fact, I do want to, our April issue of Crop Life is out, and I was lucky enough to have the cover story and highlighted some of the information and discussions I had with Bayer, Valent, USA, AMVAC, and also a Q&A with the Mosaic folks as well. So Crop Life, the digital edition, we have that online, of course. Folks that want to look at that, croplife.com/magazine for the digital edition, if you can check that out. But there was so much to go over, like I said, but one thing that our last visit this week when we were in North Carolina was with the third-party testing lab. The name of the lab is Avazyme, AVAZYME, and Volker Bornemann is the president and CEO of Avazyme, and we met with Volker and his research scientist, Jen Heath. And boy, we really learned a lot. It was a nice way to kind of conclude the trip after talking with folks, from BASF, New Farm, et cetera. Lots of folks. It really kind of helped tie the bow on what we were seeing. And, it's such a hotbed, really, for activity in the larger biorational, biological space. So it was really helpful to kind of conclude with that visit with Volker. But he actually came up through BASF early in his career. And 2014, he started the lab, excuse me, down in the RTP area. Most of the work they're doing right now is with the biopesticides companies, particularly those, of course, that aren't the huge agribusiness companies that are doing that in-house. He is doing work for both biopesticides as well as conventional chemistries. They do a lot of custom work. So they're in the ag space, they're in pharma and food as well. And it's really, they have a fantastic lab. They're also GLP certified, which again, kind of the work they're doing and, where they're positioned in the industry, and, they do a lot working with the EPA, et cetera. So they're really what their aim was, not only certainly the quality of the work, but they're a smaller company that's able to really move quickly. Somebody needs the work done, like custom work done well, kind of do the whole thing from A to Z. Due to their size and their expertise, that's where they've really carved out a niche for themselves as far as a third-party testing lab in that space. So they really have a nice little piece of business there that they attend to. In fact, we were even learning, about microtoxins, and again, our colleague Rick and I, we were just furiously writing notes, and we were able to get a nice little tour of the lab. But did want to say, thanks again to Volker and Jen for their hospitality and for showing us around. We'll have, again, highlights from everything we saw. Another thing, just a quick in passing, like I said, I'll be able to digest this a little bit more in the coming weeks, but we had a wonderful visit with the folks at BASF, talked to a lot of people, and they have a sustainability center that is out of sight, absolutely incredible. And so often when I'm talking to people, and I'm sure you've had this as well, I hear people say, yeah, gosh, as people in the ag space, sometimes we need to tell our story better. There seems to be a disconnect, not only within the industry, but certainly with others outside of ag. What is ag doing? What are they? And boy, talk about telling the story. This sustainability center now have some pictures that we can share in the coming week or so. Just incredible. Not only do they host people within the industry, but school groups and outside groups. So Kate Nangle and Chip Schilling was the founder. Chip was one of the founders. Kate runs the Sustainability Center. Just fantastic, just incredible. So, like I said, I really, in fact, we weren't expecting it to be just so wowed by it. And then so, due to our schedule, I said, hey, Kate, we have to circle back soon so I can, just get even more info. But I do want to spend some time in that the next week or two and let you guys know what we saw. But overall, just a fantastic trip. So.
Yeah, it sounds like a really good trip. And yeah, as viewers, as Laura mentioned, in the upcoming weeks, we'll have some more information as she digests, gets a little bit of sleep, and digs through all her photographs and finds the best ones to share. So stay tuned for more information on these companies. But again, thanks to all of them that rolled out the red carpet for you and Mr. Rick Walder to come and visit and find out more about what was going on with them in the marketplace. So,
absolutely.
Well, before I leave the topic crop protection completely, I have an item to share. I ran across this. It's kind of interesting. Our friends at Bayer, of course, they've been in the news a lot in recent years because, of course, they've had all these court battles involving glyphosate and, basically spent a lot of time in the courtroom. But they actually are doing a little lab work, and there was an item I ran across that said that Bayer is hopeful that they're going to be able to introduce what they're calling a substitute for glyphosate, a new active ingredient, and they're hoping to get that into the marketplace in the next 4 years by 2028. And according to their chief executive, Bill Anderson, he said that they are currently testing this new substance on plants right now. So again, they're hoping that within the next 4 years, this substitute for glyphosate will be introduced into the crop protection market for agriculture. So stay tuned on that. If we're all still here, God willing, in 4 years, we'll be able to report on this news and say, hey, we brought it to you first 4 years ago. So
that's great. Good news.
Yeah, all right. Well, Miss Laura, then let's end as we always do. Time for Fun with Numbers.
Okay. What do you got?
Oh, what I got. Okay, and I told you, you'll appreciate this given what we were talking about on air or before we got on air here recording. So your number this week, not a dollar amount, it's 20 million.
Okay.
Okay. 20 million. So is 20 million, is that A, Laura, is that A, the projected decline in U.S. soybean export bushels for 2024? Is it B, the decline in U.S. corn export bushels for 2024? Is it C, the decline in wheat export bushels for 2024? Or is it D, the approximate number of miles traveled by Lara Sowinski on her recent trip to North Carolina and back home?
Let's
Given what you told me about how long and how tedious her journey was, 20 million miles probably is not too far off the mark.
Exactly. I think you're just shy. Let me think about this for 1 second.
I was going to say, you got to pick a crop, basically. That's what you're looking for here.
Yeah, exports. I'm going with soybean.
Hey, you are correct. Good
Okay.
job, Miss Laura. Yes, USDA released a report saying that their forecast for soybean exports, they're now, it's expected for 2024 to be 1.7 billion bushels, down 20 million bushels from the earlier projections. They say that the competition from South American soybeans, Brazil and Argentinian soybeans around the globe is cutting into demand for the U.S. soybeans. But again, on the bright side, we've been talking about the fact that they're going to need more soybeans for crush here in the U.S. if renewable diesel becomes a thing. So the yin and the yang part of this report said that U.S. soybean ending stocks are now going to be 340 million bushels, which is up a little bit from what was projected earlier this year. So,
Okay.
so there you have it. 20 million bushels down as the projection right now for soybean exports for the U.S.
Yeah, actually, again, a lot of talk around renewable fuels and sustainable aviation fuels this week. So more things to share.
Yes, absolutely. Well, but congratulations on picking the correct. So,
Sheesh, you're doing good. What's going on?
maybe you get less sleep more often, right? All right. Well, viewers, on behalf of myself, everyone at Crop Life Media Group, and Lara Sowinski, of course, thanks for joining us this week's Crop Life Retail Week. We'll see you again soon.
If you have questions or comments about today's episode of Retail Week, contact us by email or Twitter, or type your message in the comment section below. Your feedback is important to us. We will try our best to address your thoughts in next week's episode, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.